When I want to know anything from you, I'll tell you, you long-legged son of a...
You want to call me that? Smile.
With a gun against my belly, I always smile.
This is the legendary West. Cowboys and soldiers, prospectors and pioneers tame the wide open spaces. Indians attack wagon trains. Dauntless lawmen clean up rough cow towns.
I'll take that shotgun, Luke.
You'll take it in the belly if you don't get out of my way.
I'll have you indicted for murder if you step outside with that shotgun.
This is how the West was won in the movies.
We'll attend to you later.
My name is Ben Johnson. I act in Western movies. Western movies are exciting, heroic, and highly moral. They're also inaccurate about the true story of American westward expansion. The Western formula was created over a century by dime novelists, playwrights, movie makers, and Wild West show promoters. It is a rigid pattern that has changed little over the years. What you will see in the next hour will document the ways in which the showmen and entertainers have taken the raw truth of American history and made it into our most compelling national myth. Before there were Westerns, there was the West. Between Kansas and the Pacific coast, pioneers settled on the virgin land of the American frontier. A new generation of American writers that include epic poets and dime novelists alike began to write about the winning of the West. The celebrated poet Walt Whitman penned these lines. Down the edges, through the passes, up the mountains steep, conquering, holding, daring, venturing as we go. Pioneers, oh pioneers. We primeval, for us felling. We the river stemming, vexing we, and piercing deep the minds within. Pioneers, oh pioneers. The federal government subsidized the building of railroads. The Irish laborers of the Union Pacific began laying tracks westward from Omaha, racing the Chinese laborers of the rival Central Pacific Line. 10 miles of track were laid in one day. This railroad link opened up the West to settlement, and these early settlers, living at the edge of the world, made a living any way they could. It was a hard, lonely life. Pioneer families settled in the fertile lands west of the Mississippi and built houses with the materials at hand, sod on the Great Plains, wood in the high country. Isolated farmers could grow only enough for their own needs. Wind and weather sometimes drove them from the land. Cattle roamed freely on the range, and laborers who rode herd began to be popularly known as cowboys in dime novels and Eastern newspapers. For those too impatient to till the soil, there was another way to work the land for profit. The 19th century saw a succession of mineral rushes. Mining became big business. Heavy industry moved in, and the shape of the land changed. The open range was fenced in, random collection of shacks became towns. Denver grew into a large city in 20 years. A geological survey produced these photographs of Round Pond, an isolated outpost on the Montana frontier. It had everything. The English kitchen served meals at the inflated price of 20 cents. This is the bar. Here is the Central Hotel. This was Main Street. The shopkeeper, not the cowhand, is the true Westerner. Yet, the American West was transformed by a popular imagination into a land of epic journeys and brave lawmen, particularly in the movies. Early movie makers like William S. Hart made use of the epic themes of westward expansion and manifest destiny. These movies, like William S. Hart's three-word brand, emphasize the hardship and dangers of the journey and the courage of the pioneer. In three-word brand, a lone settler is threatened by Indians. He sends his children to safety and sacrifices his life so that another generation can grow to manhood. There is in three-word brand a remarkable romantic nationalism, a love of country, a celebration of pioneer courage and vision. Another of these American Iliads was The Big Trail, a nationalistic epic released during the early years of the Great Depression. The Big Trail recounts the hardships faced by the first wagon train making the journey from the banks of the Missouri River to the wilderness of the Oregon Territory. The star is a youthful John Wayne. He's the Fenimore Cooper pathfinder, brave, resourceful, noble, more at home in the woods than in civilization. He's a man who dreams the American dream.
I'll uncouple the wagons and we'll pull them out one at a time, Dave. All right. Oh, we can't turn back. We're blazing a trail that started in England. Not even the storms of the sea could turn back those first settlers. And they carried it on further. They blazed it on through the wilderness of Kentucky. Famine, hunger, not even massacres could stop them. And now we've picked up the trail again. And nothing can stop us. Not even the snows of winter nor the peaks of the highest mountains. We're building a nation, but we've got to suffer. No great trail was ever blazed without hardship. And you gotta fight. That's life. And when you stop fighting, that's death. What are you gonna do, lie down and die? No! Not in 1,000 years. You're going on with me.
The word is said and we'll follow you.
You ready to start it, son up?
This speech by John Wayne will be echoed and re-echoed in the Western movies for the next 3 decades.
Yonder stands the great White Mountain. And down there is the valley I've told you about. The way lies clear ahead. All gentle slopes. So drive down, my friends, and settle it.
Buffalo once roamed the Great Plains by the millions. Some were shot for food. Many more were killed to keep the railroad tracks free of troublesome herds. Most importantly, the slaughter denied food to the Indians dependent upon buffalo to live. One of the buffalo hunters was William F. Cody, a handsome employee of the Kansas Pacific Railroad. He once killed 69 buffalo in a day and earned the nickname Buffalo Bill. Cody, seen here late in life in The Life of Buffalo Bill, a fascinating figure. Bill is one of the 19th century's great showmen. There still exists the popular imagination a figure called Buffalo Bill, who was literally invented by a dime novelist, Ned Buntline. Buntline went west looking for a hero and found Cody sleeping off a bench under a wagon. Cody was a hard-drinking, generous, roustabout teamster and buffalo hunter. Ned Buntline took a liking to Cody and made him the protagonist of a series of lurid books that grotesquely exaggerated and elaborated on the events of Cody's life. They made Buffalo Bill into an American folk hero. Cody may not have been the authentic pathfinder like Kit Carson, but he certainly looked the part of the hero. One of his contemporaries wrote of him, "Tall beyond the lot of ordinary mortals, straight as an arrow, not an ounce of useless flesh upon his limbs, but every muscle firm and hard as the sinew of a stag." Buffalo Bill is, from spur to sombrero, one of the finest types of manhood this continent has ever produced. Buffalo Bill thus made a precarious living from his celebrity until he chanced upon a way to make a fortune and earn himself a permanent place in American folklore. He invented the Wild West show. Cody put together a permanent troupe and began to tour the country. He hired cowhands and Indians and bought the Deadwood stage, corralled a few buffalo, and signed up trick shot Doc Carver, billed as the evil spirit of the plain. Annie Oakley later joined the show. As the years passed, the Wild West show became more elaborate. It opened with a grand review. Cody rode in with the company and gave the introduction. "Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce to you the Congress of the Rough Riders of the world." The rodeo acts followed. There were also military events. A United States artillery and cavalry unit performed.